On this video we're taking a look at our MLB Parlay Picks, best bets and player props for the games that are happening on Friday, April 8, 2022. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Our first parlay pick is Philadelphia Phillies vs Oakland Athletics. Phillies minus 1.5 points. And here is why. The Oakland Athletics will look like a different team after they traded away key players such as Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Chris Bassett and Sean Manaea. The A's also lost Starling Marte, Art Canha, Sergio Romo and Yan Gomez in free agency. Needless to say, the Athletics go from a consistent playoff team that could compete with anybody to a club that's likely going to struggle massively in the AL West that got better. There's not a lot to be excited about right now if you're an Athletics fan, and it's really a shame if we're being honest. Frankie Montas gets the ball, and he was 13-9 with a 3.37 ERA and 207 strikeouts last season. This will be Montas' first career game against the Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Oakland A's are two teams that enter the season heading in polar opposite directions. After years of making the playoffs without any titles to show for it, the A's completely disbanded and hit the reset button, shipping off much of their star talent including the Mats. That is Matt Chapman who was sent to the Blue Jays and Matt Olson who replaces Freddie Freeman in Atlanta. To put these moves into perspective, the A's win total opened up at 79 and now sits all the way down at a staggering 68.5. On the other hand, the Phillies made a handful of notable offseason moves including the addition of Nick Castellanos and Kyle Schwarber in hopes of making the playoffs for the first time since 2011. The Philadelphia Phillies were a middle-of-the-road team last season and made some additions to possibly take that next step. Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos will provide more protection in the lineup for JT Realmuto and Bryce Harper, and they should improve after finishing 15th in homers. The Phillies' bullpen was terrible last season and guys like Corey Neville, Juris Familia and Brad Hand have the ability to change that as well. The Phillies have a decent chance to end their playoff drought and could make a run for the NL East crown if everything goes well. Aaron Nola gets the ball, and he was 9-9 with a 4.63 ERA and 223 strikeouts last season. This will be Nola's first career game against the Athletics. Frankie Montas will take the mound for the A's after a fantastic 2021 season in which he finished 4th in strikeouts and ERA in the AL. For the Phillies, Aaron Nola will get the ball for his 5th consecutive opening day start, looking to rebound from a 4.63 ERA just a season ago. Nola should have himself a bounce-back season, considering his 3.350 was exactly the same as his 2020 season, where he finished 7th in Cy Young voting. On top of all that, Citizens Bank Park should be an absolute electric factory when fans cheer on the best lineup they've seen since they won a World Series back in 2008. Let's not overthink this game and side with a team that has 4 players capable of smashing 30-plus HRs this season. Fade the young prospects of the A's in a hostile environment and play the home team run line. Our second parlay pick is San Francisco Giants vs Miami Marlins. Giants win. And here is why. The Miami Marlins will be a team to watch this season with a starting pitching staff that includes Andy Alcantara, Trevor Rogers, Pablo Lopez and Jesus Luzardo. The question for the Marlins is with the offense that ranked 29th in runs, 29th in ops, 28th in homers and 28th in batting average. Only time will tell if the additions of Jorge Soler, Jacob Stallings and Avisail Garcia is enough to make drastic improvement. Still, there's potential and upside with these young Marlins, and they could surprise some people this season. Sandy Alcantara gets the ball, and he was 9-15 with a 3.19 ERA and 201 strikeouts last season. Alcantara is 0-2 with a 2.88 ERA and 21 strikeouts in his career against the Giants. The Giants shocked the entire baseball world with their league-best 107 wins last season as they stunningly finished ahead of the Dodgers in the NL West. As surprising as the Giants were, the Marlins were just as disappointing. Their rotation tried to hold them afloat, but their lineup forced them to completely sink. Miami averaged the second fewest runs per game last season, but have attempted to improve that mark with the signing of Jorge Soler. While he will certainly boost their lineup, it still remains to be seen if he can make up for both Starling Marte and Adam Duvall being traded away in 2021. The San Francisco Giants had everything go right for them last year, as their pitching staff was second in both ERA and WHIP, while the batting order was second in home runs and sixth in runs per game. The Giants say goodbye to Chris Bryant and Kevin Gausman, but they did add Joe Peterson, Carlos Rodon and Alex Cobb. Buster Posey retires, which makes Joey Bart the full-time catcher. Overall, the Giants are still an aging veteran group, and it will be interesting to see if health can stay on their side and if they can build on last year's efforts. Logan Webb gets the ball, and he was 11-3 with a 3.03 ERA and 158 strikeouts last season. This will be Webb's second career game against the Marlins. There is little that still needs to be seen with San Francisco, as they roster their primary components to last year's lineup, such as Brandon Crawford and Mike Yastrzemski. Even if there is some regression to the Giants' surprising season, it's hard to imagine it will be a far drop-off with their sixth best runs per game average at just under 5 per game. Although they lost Kevin Gausman to free agency, they still have a rotation led by Logan Webb. He'll be looking to start the season the same way he ended 2021, with great stuff in the postseason. With Webb handling this first game, it'll be tough for any Marlins hitters to show out as Giants. Our third parlay pick is Washington Nationals vs New York Mets. Mets minus 1.5 points. And here is why. New York had another frustrating season in 2021, going just 77-85 overall for a third-place division finish. The Mets would miss the playoffs for the fifth straight year as well. On Thursday in the opener game, New York got off to a nice start. The Mets managed 12 hits on the way to a 5-1 win. Max Scherzer has officially been cleared to start for the Mets on Friday against his former team. That alone sounds like reason enough to be all over the Mets. Not many pitchers have shown the fire that Scherzer has on the mound, and if they do, they likely haven't had the success Scherzer has had. Boy oh boy, he will have a chip on his shoulder for this matchup. What certainly bodes well for him is a seemingly soft Nationals lineup. That remains to be seen this season. It looks like Washington will be relying on only a couple of guys for offense, and they could struggle otherwise. A Mad Max against his former team consisting largely of young and unproven players is a great matchup for the Mets. For the Friday starting pitcher matchup, the Mets will send out Max Scherzer. Last season, Scherzer played for both the Nationals and the Dodgers, tallying a 7-0 record with a nice 1.98 ERA, 15 earned runs and 89 strikeouts in 11 games for Los Angeles. Meanwhile, the Mets offense will get a shot at 24-year-old Josiah Gray. Gray's rookie year was inconsistent overall, but showed decent upside. This will be his first season as a full-time starter, if health and performance allow, that is. If he shows any bit of nerves, the Mets have a very good lineup that could jump on him in a big way. In his lone start against the Mets last season, Gray allowed 6 earned runs on 7 hits and 2 home runs in 3 innings of work. It's a small sample size, granted. But the Mets lineup has got even better since that September 2021 game. This is a great spot for the Mets lineup to jump on the back of their co-ace. And for our best bet, go with San Francisco Giants vs Miami Marlins. Giants win minus 1.5 points. And here is why. Sticking in the NL West for the next leg of our mega parlay. The Giants won a league-best 107 games last year, but still can't get much respect. San Francisco has heard all the talk about how their 2021 season was a complete fluke, so they'll be extra motivated to come out and make a statement here in their first game. And what better team to make a statement against than the Marlins? Miami was just 67-95 overall last season, and they were a pitiful 25-56 on the road. Giants starter Logan Webb has to be licking his chops to go against an anemic Marlins lineup that scored the second fewest runs in all of baseball last year. Webb is coming off a breakout season where he had a 3.03 ERA, and he completely shut down the Dodgers twice in the playoffs last year. The Giants might not need too many runs to cover this minus 1.5 points. For our player props, go with San Francisco Giants vs Miami Marlins. Sandy Alcantara over 5.5 strikeouts. And here is why. In his final 10 starts of the 2021 regular season, Sandy Alcantara recorded 6 or more strikeouts 9 times. He has become one of the best pitchers in the National League in the past few years, and his stellar 4-pitch arsenal has been the key to his success. Alcantara can throw a 101 mph sinker and then follow it with a 92 mph changeup, which might be the fastest in baseball. His changeup and slider combo was the main reason that Alcantara ranked in the 61st percentile for whiff rate and the 95th percentile for chase rate in 2021. The Miami ace is a workhorse who rarely allows free passes and loves to get ahead in the count with his off-speed pitches. San Francisco hitters have a 20% strikeout rate against Alcantara and 65 plate appearances in their careers, but I expect a lot more swings and misses on Friday. Hitters' timing will likely still need work and Alcantara can be the benefactor of the Giants' failure. Expect Alcantara to come out looking sharp and sit down at least 6 San Francisco hitters via the strikeout. Disclaimer, no financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information contained in or provided from or through this channel is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other advice. The information on this channel and provided from or through this channel is general in nature and is not specific to you, the user, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented on this channel without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory.